Welcome back to Makeup Monday. Today I have a haul from Coastal Scents that I got about a week and a half ago in the mail. They were having a big sale on their Hot Pots where they reduced the price by half, so they were only 99 cents. So I decided to get a couple, you know, and by a couple I mean 12. I just really wanted to expand my single eyeshadow collection a little bit. I am working on getting some more MAC eyeshadows and some more Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I want to eventually do a comparative video between Coastal Scents Hot Pots, the Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and the MAC eyeshadows. That way you guys can see the full spectrum of extremely inexpensive to extremely expensive, considering MAC eyeshadows are about $14 for a single. So I just want to be able to compare the quality of Coastal Scents to MAC and Makeup Geek. That way you guys can get a sense of what is actually worth paying for. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's get right into the haul. So first I have the Bionic Buffing Brush from Coastal Scents. This is a foundation brush. It's really soft and it works really well for blending out foundation. Basically what you do is you pump your foundation directly onto the brush, or you dab it all over your face and then you just use this to buff it right in. I think the coverage that this brush helps you get is really great, especially since I have some problem areas on my face right now. The blend that this brush gives and how seamless and flawless your face looks after you use this is really great, especially since the brush was only $6.95. I don't have any Sigma brushes, but if you are looking for a cheap alternative to the F80 brush from Sigma, or even the Makeup Geek foundation buffing brush, I think this would be a great alternative because it is that flat buffer brush. It is packed very densely and very tight. That way you're blending, when you're blending out your foundation, it actually gives a very flawless look. The next brush I got is the classic tapered kabuki brush. This is a synthetic brush. I like how this brush presses concealer into your skin. I think this brush is very comparable to the F86 Sigma brush that Jaclyn Hill and Casey Holmes like to use to blend their concealer out. It seems like it works almost the exact same way. The difference between this one and that one is that this one only costs $12.95 instead of $20 to $25, which I think the F86 is. So I think this is definitely worth giving a shot. The next brush I have is the Coastal Scents Tapered Blending Brush. And the thing I like about this brush is it's actually very soft, but it's also really easy to blend. There is a little bit of give, but it helps blend the eyeshadow out extremely well. Most of the time I'll dab it in the shadow and then I'll put it flat side down. That way I can get way into the crease, and then I'll flip it. That way it's sticking up, the ferrule is sticking up, and I'll use that to blend out the eyeshadows. So it's kind of an all-in-one blending brush. Next brush I got is the Pointed Blender Brush. It's essentially a pencil brush. I think it's a little wider than most pencil brushes, but I do like to use this to blend out my lower lash line. I think it gives a really nice seamless blend, and it picks up the shadows really easily without too much eyeshadow fallout from your lower lash line. Next, I got the 12 pan eyeshadow palette. This does come empty, but because I got 12 Hot Pots, I decided to just stick them all in there. Some of these Hot Pots I have had for a little while, and some of them I just got. I'll get into the Hot Pots in a little bit. This is extremely convenient, just the size alone. I mean, it's only as wide as my hands, so you could easily slip it into your purse, or you could use it as a travel palette. I really think that these types of palettes are perfect because you can mix and match the different eyeshadows you have. You can put like 4 natural shadows in here. You can do 4 for a smoky eye. You can even throw some colors in there. That way you can do some pops of color here and there while you're traveling. And it is really sturdy because it's a plastic case. It doesn't really have a lot of give to it, so you know that your eyeshadows are going to be protected when you're traveling. This is the 10 blush palette from Coastal Scents. I actually think that this blush palette is ridiculously amazing. Not only are the blush pans 2 inches wide and you get 10 of them, this only costs $10. So essentially you're getting each blush for just $1, which is ridiculous. They're extremely pigmented. They come off extremely opaque when you apply them. Just a warning, I would be really careful when applying them, because if you're not careful, you can actually end up having like clown spots on your face, which is definitely not what you want when you're applying a blush. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on this palette, make sure you tune in to my Yay or Nay Friday. I am doing a review on this palette. And last but not least, I'm going to get right into the eyeshadows. So here you go. So this first shade is called Petal Pink. It's a very peachy pink-ish shade. I like using this as a transition color. The next shade is called Pale Nude. It is a blue-toned pale pink color. The next shade is called Tuscany. It's a very warm brown transition shade. It actually reminds me of Soft Brown from MAC. The next one is called Coconut Husk. This is a very cool blue-toned brown. The next one is Oktoberfest. This one is a brown, but it has a lot of orange tones in it. The next one is Peachy Pink. This one, as you can see, is a true pink. It kind of has some blue tones in the color. The next one is called Coral Pink. It actually reminds me a lot more of a copper shade than a coral shade. The next one is called Maroon Berry. This one is really nice. It does get a little grainy when you're swatching it and when you're using it though. The next one is Tangelo Tint. This is a very bright yellow color. I'm not sure how I'm going to use this yet. Next one is Bright Tangerine. As you can see, this is kind of an in-your-face orange color. Next one is Shamrock Green. This one is actually extremely buttery and smooth, and as you can see, extremely pigmented. And last but not least, we have Deep Grape. This one actually comes off a little chalky. Anyway, so that's my haul. If you guys want to see reviews on any of the products I showed you, please let me know in the comments below. I think that's it, so I'll see you guys on Wednesday for What You Want Wednesday. Bye guys.